Good evening. It's Bob Bowman, and I'm back with another live stream. And I wanted to wrap up things as far as what I was talking about with the last two videos that I uploaded, which was if you want me to be the cleanup man, you must pay me. And I understand that a lot of people wouldn't take what I had to serious, and I didn't expect a lot of people to take it serious. However, I was mainly trying to prove a point. Now, what was the point that I was trying to prove? For one, I was projecting what it is that I get sent in my direction almost on a daily basis. The level of non importance that I have been shown to be in this society, the level of disrespect that I've had to deal with, even when I was breaking my back, sometimes literally, to help out the community, and the overall general thought process of the average black man in the community, and how we're looked at as being a very negative thing, even when we're not doing anything negative. Like, it was one woman, she had made a post and said, for the passport bros, why are you even talking about it? Just do what it is that you want to do and don't say anything. And my response to that would be, why is it that when we were getting dogged out, we were getting trampled upon, we were getting belittled, we were being used as a punching bag, we were being used as a stepping stone, you had no words for the women and the men that were doing that to us? And I put the men in there because you have a lot of men, especially these pickup artists, these game coaches, these dating coaches that will do everything they can to shame men into staying and dealing with the crap that we have to deal with here. And I've been doing my best not to name names, but let's just be real. There are people like Ringo TV Reactions that has such a hard on pause to make the men that made a logical decision based off of their free thinking and their free will to say, hey, forget dating, stack up the money, and then enjoy yourself outside of the country, get to meet new people, explore places, get to understand the culture, you know, possibly find somebody that actually want to be with you instead of falling on the sword and sacrificing here for nothing. Now, O'Shea Duke Jackson, he said something in one of his latest videos where he said that women don't have an incentive to cooperate. Okay, we live in a free and equal society at this point. So men have no reason or no incentive to cooperate either. So if we're not being heard and they have demands and they don't want to hear what we have to say, we don't have to hear what they have to say. Now, when I conduct myself out in public, out in society, I will conduct myself in a manner that is respectful to all. However, if I have to go through being shamed and bashed and gaslitten because I'm not following the protocols of the so-called society and so-called community, I will continue making these types of videos. And that means that I'm going to be making these types of videos for a while. Because even a man like Dr. Umar Johnson had to realize what time it is that we dealing with out here. Even he had to come to the conclusion that there is a divide going on. And there's a lot of division going on. It's even division amongst the passport bros. We all know this. We all can see it. It's right in our face. Even I'm coming up here and explaining this. And I don't have a lot of views on my videos. And I know that I only had one video that got over 1,000 views so far. Other than that, I've been staying in the double or triple digits when it comes to my videos, and that's okay with me as long as I'm doing what it is that I need to do to better myself and better my life and make improvements on what it is that I'm doing. You know, like I'm doing the work while other people are sitting around doing nothing and complaining. I just came from the gym. Some people say it don't look like I went to the gym, but I don't care. I know what I did for myself, and that's what matters more than anything in this world. And so men coming up here and expressing themselves and to say, "Hey, this is my experience on what it is, how I had the experience that I had when I went out of the country." And no, this wasn't the first time I ever been outside of the country. Like I said before, I was in the military. So I've been out the country before when I was much younger. I'm just at an older stage in my life where my maturity level is a lot higher. The way that I conduct myself is a lot better. And I know how to maneuver and not cause too many eyeballs to be on me. Like I'm not going to be out there doing destructive things that will ruin the reputations of the men that's going over to these countries. I'm going to be a representative for myself first. And I've seen the videos that Ringo has put up where it's like he always want to showcase the negativity that's going on with the guys that have a passports and going overseas. And yes, there are some idiots that go overseas and do some stupid things. But we all are not like that. And I'm not speaking for those guys. I'm speaking for the men that know how to conduct themselves. That's a little bit more older, a little bit more mature, that know that they can't be too flashy, that ain't trying to put too many eyeballs on them, but they want to have a good time. They want to relax. They want to do their own thing. Now, there's nothing wrong for us with us expressing ourselves. There's nothing wrong with us telling our personal experiences, whether it was good or bad. And that's all I did on the very first video that I talked about when I talked about my trip going to the Dominican Republic. I wasn't trying to make anybody feel bad about their situation or their circumstances or make people feel jealous. I'm trying to give encouragement to the men that maybe are unsure or uncertain, the ones that want to go real bad, but they know that they have to deal with the backlash of it. And yes, the backlash is going to be bad sometimes, like because your eyes are going to open a little bit more than what they are right now. Once you start taking those trips, you're going to see that you can possibly have a better quality of life if you strive to push yourself further along. Like you don't have to settle for the situation that you're in right now. You can better yourself to become the version of yourself that can go over there most of the time, where you could travel back and forth. And that's what it is for me. It's a motivation to get me to wanting to get to that position of where I can freely come and go as I please. Now, the women that are complaining about men like me that made this decision, I have two words for you, and that is be quiet. And I'm saying be quiet because you had nothing to say when Cynthia G was sitting up there talking about aborting black male babies. You had nothing to say when they had this rap song that came out talking about going to the abortion clinic and having murder on her mind. You had nothing to say about those things. Nothing. But little old me that's just living my life to the best of my ability so I don't have to have all the anger and the stress on me, trying to figure out ways to where I can be happy a little bit. You have an issue with that because you don't want me to be happy. You want me to be miserable. You want me to fall on my sword for a community that can't stand me, that have made that clear to me on more than one occasion. So why should I be loyal to a group of people that don't like me and that isn't loyal to me, that would throw me in the fire if they had the opportunity? That's all I'm saying. So when I'm saying that, oh, you want to hang out with me and I don't like you and I don't want you, you have to pay me. What have women been doing all these years? The same thing. And they been lying and leaving these men hanging to dry. You know what I'm saying? Just left with no money and and wishful thinking. So if men had to go through that for all these years and nobody had nothing to say about it, why are women getting upset that men are becoming wise to the game and starting to maneuver in different ways? I understand why the dating coaches and the game coaches and all the people that depend on the simps to stay here and bow down to the vagina. I understand why they want us to stay here because they want to keep us under control. Like I said before, it's all about money and it's all about power and it's all about control. And most of these people are control freaks. It's like I don't have any control over them and their choices, and I'm not going to shame them or bash them. But because I made a personal choice that may affect them in a way because I'm not being a supplement to their income, of course they're going to have an issue with that. But at the same time, a man that made up his mind, that isn't hurting anybody, that isn't doing any illegal activities, he should have the right to do what it is that he would like to do in his life. Now, there's guys out here that's saying, "Oh, but you ain't bringing home anybody. You ain't bringing nobody back. You ain't doing this and you ain't doing that." You don't understand what it is that I'm doing, and I don't have to explain a damn thing to you because who are you? You're no better than me, and I'm no better than you. And if I don't want to talk about my personal business with you, I don't have to. I chose to talk about this subject up here. I chose to put myself out there about this. It has nothing to do with what you want me to do. It has nothing to do with what you want me to say. And I'm not going to say and do what it is that you want me to do or say. I'm speaking from the heart and I'm speaking the truth. I know you don't like it. I know you want to stop me, but you can't because I'm not doing any harmful things to anybody. And I'm not, and when I talk about going overseas, I'm not lying to the people. I'm not selling dreams to anybody. I'm telling them my actual experience. I'm not out here saying, oh, you should do this and you should do that. All I could do is give a suggestion. So, like I was saying, it's no incentive for me to cooperate in society here. None whatsoever, outside of being respectful to everybody because I want to keep my job and I want to keep food on my table and do what it is that I got to do so I can survive for the time being. Other than that, it's no reason for me to want to get married in a society that's jacked up like this. And I damn sure don't want to be a stepdaddy to a woman that really don't appreciate me, to some kids that ain't even gonna respect me because they gonna see how the mama treat me and say, "Oh, if the mama treat him like that, then that mean that we can do all this." And the mother probably put those children over her damn self, and they'll definitely run over me. Do you understand why I'm saying this? And I'm not saying this because, oh, I'm just pulling this out of thin air. No, I'm saying this based off of experiences, and that's with an S at the end. Now, am I saying that all single mothers are like that? No. However, I am saying that based off of the experiences that I've had thus far, it is going to be very hard to convince me otherwise to cooperate in something like that, especially within the community. Now, I understand that there's people that don't like it because they like, who do you think you are? You know who I am? I'm just Bob Bowman. That's who I am. I have my own mind. I have my own thoughts. I think the way that I think. I live the way that I live, and I do what I do, and I do it to the best of my ability. So, if you don't like what I had to say through these 3 videos that I've put up here, hey, that's on you. But I'm sticking by it. I am standing on it, and I am going to continue speaking the way that I do, with honesty, with freedom, and I'm going to do it with some semblance of respect because look, I've already been canceled. I've already been canceled. So it's nothing that anybody else can do to me at this point. I know what I can and I can't say online because I got to protect my livelihood. So I'm not going to go as vicious as I would like to, but at the same time, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be direct. I'm going to be straightforward. And I'm not going to reveal every single thing about me online. Like, I'll let the people talk and say whatever it is that they want to say behind closed doors. It doesn't matter to me. Because at the end of the day, they don't have to live my life and I don't have to live theirs. And like I said, like, I have some women right now that's waiting on me to fall. It's a guy that I've known since grade school. He's following a person that I became friends with on Instagram that I met in the DR. He doesn't know that person, but he saw that me and that person were friends, and he knew that I just came from there. So, being nosy, hey, he went ahead and followed that person. So I already know that there's eyeballs on me, and I'm not doing anything to anybody. But at the same time, it's like, what can I do about it? The only thing that I can do is continue living. And I understand that it's a lot of hatred and it's a lot of animosity for men that's just going along and doing things their own way because we had an expected role of us, but it's not going to happen. And I don't care if this society or if the community fails because it already failed me. And I'm okay with that. I've had to deal with that. I had to deal with that frustration and that anger for so long that I'm at the point to where I'm getting to that point where I'm just accepting things for the way that it is. I'm accepting myself for the way that I am. Like, I know that um in the community they say, oh, you supposed to date somebody that likes you way more than you like them. And I don't agree with that at all. Like, I think that it should be on an even playing field as far as that you should like that person just as much as they like you. And that y'all work together, y'all communicate, and y'all build together. Other than that, it's not going to work. But other than that, this is just Bob Bowman. Have a nice evening.